Great afternoon. I'm going to read another series of excerpts from Song of the Butterfly, Finding the Freedom Within, and this is the section on gurus. It's a pretty long section, so please bear with me. It goes from 97 up to 165. 97. Guru means dispeller of darkness, or one that gives the keys to direct experience. It is not like those that play at being a guru, which is nothing more than simply a walking book. 98. Guru is that which dispels darkness, no matter where it's entrenched. One gets what is needed. Those who come and want to play games are wasting everyone's time. If there is a holding somewhere, it will be addressed one way or another. I don't have time for those who want to play at intellectualism or those who want their egos stroked to make it feel better. There's no anger here. What is given is what flows for the situation. There's a still center. There may be a hurricane which is seen from the outside, but Guru is always the still center. 99. Although we do not suffer, we still feel others' pain. We still see their tortured existence. We don't wander around with a blind eye, but there is the reality. As the saying goes, God helps those that help themselves. In other words, one must first put forth some attention in the direction of moving forward. 100. Being a teacher or guru, open on these lists, one attracts those who are going to project all their drama in our direction. It's inevitable. When not getting what is demanded, they will become the victim within their minds and will attempt to convince the world of our abusive nature. They will run to another teacher or guru looking for sympathy and support until that teacher says something that goes against what they want or are willing to hear, and then once again the same cycle starts over. It goes with the territory. Number 101. A guru and a Satguru are two entirely different things. Anyone can be a guru, is a teacher of sorts, but a Satguru is a realized master, a Jivan Mukti, a Kundalini Siddha master, and they're only so if they are a realized being that's traveled the whole of the journey from start to finish. Number 102. There is no way to please everyone. It's impossible. Not even Christ, nor Buddha, nor Sri Ramana, or pacifist Gandhi could please everyone. As long as one tries to be all things to all people, they will find themselves being stretched so thin that nothing that is being said is meaty any longer. 103. A realized one is fortunate to be living within peace. It is the joy of this possibility for everyone that guru, teachers, and realized beings, no matter what their station in life, wish to share. 104. I could read a book on surgery and be able to talk about it. But that doesn't mean that I could perform an operation to save anyone. In fact, it would probably end up doing more harm than good. So just because there's speech in a good show, look deeper. 105, I'm hard because I want your liberation. It's easy to feed you candy while simply handing out more bondage. Number 106, a guru tears away the veils while a showman gives you greater veils. Look beyond the facade to the core. 107, make sure then, when assured, take the plunge. No holds barred. It's much better to have a splash than a dull thud. 108, it is all within. The guru without only connects one to the ever-present guru within. 109, unfortunately, most people have only seen or heard about the gurus who are less than stellar. Not all gurus are sitting on thrones being objects of worship. Not all gurus live in big fancy places or travel with entourages waiting on them hand and foot. Not all gurus get involved in sexual escapades with their sadhakas. Neither is being a guru something to elevate ego. It is more being able and available to those that come 24 hours a day, 7 days a week without established pay. It's about service each and every day. Who is being served? The seekers, much more than the guru. I would like to see the honest gurus being spoken of rather than the abusers, but let's face it, it's the bad that get the press. 110, there's a difference between the real thing and a copy. One can experience the difference. 111, there are no accidents. You get the guru that you need and not always the one that you want. That is simply the way it works. This one ended up with the one that I stated was the last person on the face of the planet that I would go to. Oh, the ego's infinite blindness. Number 110. Now I kiss the guru's lotus feet every day for having the compassion to give what was needed versus what the egotistical self wanted. After a few well-placed 4x8s by my wisdom-eyed guru, surrender began to take hold, and the rest is history. Thank God my arrogance didn't just storm out, for it would not have been the guru's loss, although at the time we want to believe it so. It would have been my own continuance in the cycle of death and rebirth as an egotistical self, identifying body, zombie, chasing the world, running from death, creating illusion after illusion, attempting to assuage a pain that the world's clinging rubbed raw over and over again. Number 113, don't think that having a guru is all hearts and flowers. 114, at this time, ego may do whatever it can to once again assert its sense of authority. It is good at these times to look back before blowing up and stomping off in another direction, and see just how many direct experiential moments have come due to the intervention of this guru. Then stop, take a deep breath, realizing that where you are, the guru has been. The guidance you are being given is for a reason. It is put in place to help break through mental holdings. Number 115, Sharon was an identity caught within conditioned mind and form. She was one within depression, one caught within suffering and despair. Guru is not. All that was contained within that life fell away, dissolved, is no more. No matter how many times others wish to call the name Sharon, truly she died. There's no relationship to that name or life. What was Sharon? 116. A set of experiences tied to a sense of form as self. Form is never self. Form is an energy pattern that has a sense of solidity only for a span of time. What is Guru that Sharon was not? That which is not born. 117. Guru is not a person. Guru is a reality that penetrates all of existence and yet is separate and distinct. It is one. Number 118. Some of the biggest cons wear the cloth, beggars posing as sadhus, not the fault of the clothes that one wears, but the one wearing the attire. In fact, while in India, I wrote a primer for visitors coming to Rishikesh about regarding all in orange cloth as honorable. Most were scoundrels and jackals. And yes, I am very outspoken while I was there. Number 119. A Siddha Guru will flow in whatever direction brings more clarity, first stirring the mind, and then with continued flow washing it away, breaking through standing conditionings. They do not always play according to the rules or the box that others may wish to place them within. As a liberated one has no need to stay within a definition of what they should or should not be. Guru's being is a movement that flows in the direction of what is most productive and the highest good for breaking through the ignorance which holds suffering and bondage, the rambling, justifying mind as its banner. Number 120. What is needed for another's growth simply flows. It's not always pleasant. Sometimes the hard ground must be broken up before seeds are planted. Otherwise, it is a waste of time. 121. Your guru knows what is needed to prepare you to receive, whether that is through gentle persuasion, speaking to that which is truth, or by using the 2x4 of direct confrontation. It is always aimed at helping the sadhaka to move forward. There are different dances for different students. Some are ready for a waltz, and others need a flamenco danced on their heads and hearts to break through the limiting and hard mindsets. 122. By the time one is certified as realized by one's guru, the desire to teach has passed. The desire to teach arises on the path of seeking. And as the full import of being guru is understood, the last thing one wants to do is take on the burden of teaching. But one continues to fulfill their guru's admonitions for some to continue to go forward to be a guru. 123. Kundalini Siddha gurus are not teachers of yogic postures and programmable routines. And ego postures in looking for a teacher, a sadhaka is ready to show humbleness in asking for guru's grace. So if you decide to accept a guru, let this be made clear. It is not the guru's job to cater to you, to run to you, to give you darshan. The Guru already has what you are seeking, and what this is beyond any price or pittance of trouble that the sadhaka may face. It is the responsibility of the sadhakas to do whatever is necessary to receive the grace which is being proffered by the Guru. 124. There are numerous charlatans willing to sell you ego strokes. They're a dime a dozen. You can buy their affections or whatever you want to hear they're willing to say for a price. Whatever you want to learn, they are willing to teach. That's not a guru. 125. It is the Guru's grace that accepts the chela, not the chela's bravado, that is going to do them a big favor in allowing them to be your mentor and guide. There's nothing that you have that the Guru cannot do without. Okay, so if you think you're going to come and the Guru is so fortunate to have you as a student, you can keep going down the road. Okay? Number 126. A teacher gives nothing but relational knowledge. It can be bought and sold like a commodity. Guru's grace is a far cry from a lecturing book of facts and figures which may be purchased off of any shelf. If your long line of teachers were able to procure realization, then you would not be within the search and seeking a way out of bondage now. If this is too hard for you to accept, then it's best for you to walk away. 127. There's no ego here that is salivating after seekers. So those that come proffering that card had best walk away. I don't give a rat's ass about clinging to some messiah complex that needs to save the world. Within and beyond the illusion of all suffering is the eternal seed of the absolute that is utter and total perfection. The only thing that's being saved is the seeker from themselves. God or Source or primal essence forever is, and it is forever untouched by any of the shenanigans that mankind in its illusory journey are proffering on it. 128. For those who come expecting this guru to jump through your hoops in order to take on your karmic baggage, let's just use this little example from Sri Ramana. A seeker came and challenged Ramana by saying, "Can you give it to me?" And Sri Ramana simply replied, "Can you take it?" Okay? So again, if you're not ready to take it, if you're expecting things to be handed to you in a silver platter, it's not the place for you to be. Okay? 129. What patient goes to a doctor seeking a cure from a deadly illness, and then when offered the medication refuses to take it because it's a bitter pill to swallow? Who is it that says, "Doctor, you must first make it taste like cotton candy, or else I won't open my mouth"? And while we are at it, "Doctor, prove to my satisfaction." Let me turn that down. I'm getting the rash of the spam calls. So while you're at it, "Doctor, prove to my satisfaction you're a doctor good enough for me to waste my time on." Yes, it is I that I'm looking for a cure, and it's I that came here asking for a cure, but I won't open my mouth till I'm satisfied you can give me cotton candy flavored medicine rather than this bitter pill. The doctor simply says, here is the medication, take it or not, it's your choice. No, doctor, you need me. Without me, you won't have a job, and you'll suffer if I don't take the medication. Who is the one who's ill? Who's the one that's suffering? Is it the doctor? No matter how you may try to spin it, it is the patient alone who is ill and who will continue to suffer as long as the medication is not taken. The doctor knows the illness. The doctor offers the remedy and medication, but it's your responsibility to take it as directed. And if you don't, it's you alone that remains in suffering. Okay? Om Namah Shivaya. 130. Guru is beyond the sickness, beyond the illusion. This is why they are a light, a dispeller of darkness. But neither do they need to fulfill some mission of saving the world. Again, this is a false view that the guru needs to have some students to fulfill some purpose. It is ego that seeks a purpose. When ego's illusions fall away, there is no purpose to maintain. One simply lives. And that life is a testament, whether or not a word is spoken. Whether sadhaka is accepted has nothing to do with a liberated one's being. You confuse being with doing. A guru is not a doer. Prarabdha karma plays out. That's all. 131. This idea of testing gurus comes from a Western mindset. What are you going to test? What knowledge do you have to test anything? If you want to know what the guru is like, then request to speak to their students. 132. As you are thinking you are testing the guru is testing back. Just because you may desire and you may decide that the guru has passed your test, you may find, to your chagrin, that the guru may decide that you are lacking in the basic requirements that are needed in one that is looking towards self-realization. Okay. 133. One doesn't test a guru by words and emails. They come and they sit in their presence. They live close by and look if their actions are in alignment. Or they question those who spend time with the guru's presence to ask what is really underneath the persona that is on the screen. 134. When you want truth more than strokes, when you're ready to have real experience rather than glorified notions, then only look for a Siddha Guru. 135. Of course, one must use common sense to look and see if a guru is motivated by greed or power or a dominating agenda. But if the seeker is motivated by greed, then most often they will find the guru that will take them for a ride. If the seeker is motivated by seeking someone that's going to be their savior or God figure, that's going to run their lives, then once again expect to be taken for a ride. There are genuine gurus out there. It takes sincerity to find one. If you are sincere, the universe will put one in your path, and it's up to you to recognize when it does. Then, as in all aspects of life, there are the frauds, the scammers, the truly deluded and perverted psychopaths. It behooves one to look, spend time with, make informed decisions. Once a decision is made and the guru is found to be genuine, it behooves one to surrender to their guidance and direction. Of course, you have the ability to walk away at any time during the process. 136. If you don't have control of your life, if it is being pulled away step by step by being programmed by unending dogmas of external rules, regulations, with every aspect of your life being told what you must and do not do, if told this is a revolutionary teaching that cannot be gotten anywhere else on the planet, and without holding this teacher as God, you're going to go to hell, then run for your life, as you've stumbled into a cult. And yes, there are many of them out there. 137. There are genuine gurus whose sole concern is giving what may be given, just as they were fortunate enough to receive what is being passed along by a guru that was compassionate and wise. Note that does not mean wishy-washy and syrupy sweet, but rather giving what is needed for one's progress. This is true compassion and love. 138. What gives you the idea that I don't like you? Are you not being worked with? What do you expect? I'm a guru, not a girlfriend. Don't expect wine, flowers, sweet words whispered in your ear. I don't like versus dislike anyone. 139. I wish only to see your liberation, which is ever present and yet which is being hidden by the self-imposed limitational bondage through your own ignorance of Maya. Maya gives way to Leela in realization. If, and that's a big if, your heart is not expanded and opened, if a thirst is not created, then perhaps I'm simply not the guru for you. There are many paths, ways, and means. None are higher or lower overall. Only higher or lower in relation to your individual life experience and perceptions. 140. I see with many satsang hanging out a manufactured variety experience, a magician's trick, if you will. It's easy to take a room full of people, and that naturally will generate a more concentrated field of energy, and then they speak quite softly, so that people have to strain to hear, so as to give the illusion of a heightened field of energetic silence. People then equate this as coming from the one speaking on stage. This is a trick, a fallacy being passed off as real experience. Then suddenly they stop and saying, "Be still. Be still for a moment." Once again, this is tantamount to a magician's trick. I do not work in this manner. It's easy to become popular using such methods, but I cannot rationalize such behavior. It's a type of spiritual con. 141. My path is not to have long-term devotees, but to see them progress to natural Gyan, which is Guru or Self. Liberation is the end of clinging to Guru, and then a motion to simply become another light within the world. There's only one light, one Guru, one essence called God, Source, or Self. 142. As a seeker, meditation was done throughout the day. In awareness, insights came, was grasping at straws, learned relative knowledge, which I thought was so spiritually advanced. Let me get this. Make sure this is still going. It's meditation deepened. Kundalini kept pulling away at the supports. Finally, Guru took the knife of discernment and started slicing and dicing. It was not a pretty picture, but now I kissed his lotus feet for his compassion in giving what was needed and not what was wanted. For we want the candy-coated strokes of tell me how great my spiritually advanced understanding is. He told me you're a fool to think you have anything, and he was right. I fought having a true guru for years. When I encountered the real deal, the fantasy ended and the knots were cut asunder. 143. Many armchair seekers that expect everything and are willing to commit to nothing. So greedy to think that they are a diamond in this teacher's lapel. I don't need this kind of a seeker. If someone comes, I'm tough on them. If not sincere, they'll blow out the door in a huff. My time's too valuable to sit and babysit and stroke egos. I would be just as happy to have no seekers at all. So I don't want to waste time on numbers. I only want the cream of the crop that are ready to go all the way to realization versus those that want to have a hobby and play at spirituality. 144. With gurus, it is a problem when you have someone running an organization and you don't stay grounded in the transient world. It's easy to go off in the silence and turn a blind eye. It's much more difficult to keep the consciousness at a lower level in order to be able to function in the world as well. This is termed Uddhama, enlightenment, but totally functional in the world. It's an act of compassion for those you are working with. Okay. 145. Swami Gangapuri Kali Uddhamananda Giri. Okay, here we go. What does it mean? Swami designates Hindu renunciate Lord, one that's mastered their life basically. Ganga. Ganga is the Hindu goddess, the manifestation of the Ganges River, which is said if you bathe in it once you will gain liberation, and it is the death of all death. Puri, this is from a lineage, a line. It means one who contemplates Brahman, even while in the midst of the city. Brahman is also the name for creator or absolute. Kali. Kali is Shakti, the one that fights ego, wherever found, and conquers the demon mind. She is the universe in motion, the bringer of life and death. Fully enlightened while functioning within the world. Anand is bliss. All formal renunciates have the name of Anand to enjoy leaving formalized society behind and being free within God as bliss. Giri, another pointing to a lineage, Shivite. Giri is mountain, so one that is immovable and serene. So when you put it all together, it means the fully enlightened one that has pointed dedication, functions in the world to tear through ego and bring liberation by any means possible. Kali uses many means, to take one to eternal life. A real mouthful, isn't it? These names are chosen by the Diksha Guru who brings you into the lineage. They serve as a reminder of one to focus on inherent abilities. Call me what you like. G is fine. No fuss, no muss. Swami G is a play on words. G, J-I, is a title showing respect, pronounced the same as G. So Swami G is an informal way of being respectful yet not stuffy. 146. It is only when you quit bragging and boasting about what you really don't know, but simply know about, that you really begin on the path to where ignorance may be stripped bare until the unknown that is beyond all relative knowledge is known. So now you're starting to get real. And one can only progress within an attitude of realness, which is open and empty rather than full of useless banter. 147. All sages and Satgurus, one that is realized versus a guru that's a teacher of relative knowledge and methods, speak from the same dimension of one, unfettered by the constraints of mental noise, confusion, or doubt. 148. Path completion takes an opening of the heart, a seeking desire for liberation or truth at any cost. This is what it takes. While a dead master's words may speak to a seeker, and while they may influence them from the other side, they will guide them to a living Satguru that is within form, for it takes feedback that is given not to a mass section of people, but directed to that specific seeker that is geared to their journey. It takes this one to one dance to pull away the dross and cut the last of the knots. 149. Each guru has a different external persona. This brings a different flavor and texture to the abiding reality and truth. Doesn't mean the truth is changed, it's singular and one. But each guru has a different persona. Therefore, the way that they relate it into the world is going to have a different flavor behind it. 150. For those simply seeing Hindu words and going off on a judgment harangue, let me say first, come to a satsang and see what is being spoken of here. There is no one locked into Hinduism, no one doing pujas. I speak to Buddhist terms when someone comes and wishes to hear from that perspective. A Christian point of view from those that come and want to know from that perspective. So don't sit and make assumptions. 151. If only others were as dedicated as your heart and hands, then an ashram would be forthcoming, a rest and haven for those that wish to partake of Guru's transmission, blessings, and grace on a daily basis. A place to come for intensive instruction, guidance, meditation, mantra, refreshment of spirit, and review. It is only the heart generosity and development of compassion for those that opens the floodgates of giving in order to secure such a haven and place of divine succor. May one day such sadhakas arise as to make the path an open gift of Guru's darshan. May, as a gift to humanity, a place be made available that may be infused with prayer and the vibration of holy transmission. This must come from the sadhaka's desire to aid and benefit within a holy environment. Guru is a servant to humanity, keeping the vibration of truth anchored within the transient world, bringing Leela and expelling the Mayic mind of mentation of duality, suffering, and subsequent bondage. It is Guru's way to bring a full flowering of the divine fragrance to the garden setting of humanity. May the ground of the wastelands be turned over. May the seeds of liberation be sown within hearts. May the Garden of Eden be entered once more, as it is ever available with those with eyes to see and hearts open to receive. Well, instead of having a physical ashram, we have an online ashram, which people still connect and still get guidance, still get the direction, still have that ongoing connection that takes place. 152. Guru speaks within the direct living cognition of the reality of the Absolute. This cognition and consciousness is the basis for all the Vedas and Upanishads. Therefore, Guru's words carry the essence of God's vibrational reality in this moment. 153. One need not visit the holy places of pilgrimage, as Guru is the path and the holy ground. As Christ said so aptly, I am the way, the map of the path, the truth, realization as is, and the life, God or essence that is life. Living satsang brings one to this cognition. Guru is the knowledge that acts as a ladder to the upper realms. It is a raft to carry you across safely the torrid eddies of mental states. The holy river, as Hindu belief that one bathes in the Ganges to gain liberation. Guru is this river and brings the life-giving words that wash away the cover and layers of dirt that have accumulated in life's travels. 154. Guru is the life essence that is eternal. Guru is within all. Guru is eternal. It is the seed of your being. 155. Lineage has nothing to do with one's spiritual attainment. It simply shows the outer methodology used by that school or train of thought and leanings. Okay. 156. Just because one is charismatic doesn't qualify them as a guru. These are not the actions of a guru that is beyond body and mind. Obviously, they can be trapped within a confine of sexual energy and identifications. It is the power, and it is feeding for its own ego. A true guru does not chase sex to buoy them up. Once again, run, do not walk in the other direction. Anyone can have someone else build them a website, can cut and paste or learn to speak Advaitic jargon. If they're spending more time chasing after phenomena and sex is transient phenomena, then they're not beyond the pull of form. Okay? 157. Take Diksha with a real guru. Develop pure bhakti and meditation without physical distortions, i.e. perverted sexual connotation. I am so saddened when I hear of these abusive charlatans that use others for their gratification and lust. A true guru's only motivation is to get you to realization. It's not about the guru's wants and desires. They should be beyond that, and if not, leave and find one that is. Okay? 158. You cannot devote pure actions to a predatory personality. Jim Jones had charisma. Ted Bundy had charisma. Many charlatan gurus have charisma. But charisma and realization are not one and the same thing. 159. Loneliness is looking for someone else to fulfill you when you know not what is the core of being. Oh yes, I'm a friend, not a master. A friend's kind word lasts a moment, while a master's catalyst to liberation lasts forever. 160. Gurus, like psychologists, deal with people who either want mommies or daddies to attach to a persona, etc., or confuse bhakti with sexual dynamics. $161. I absolutely will not work with anyone doing drugs. 162. While many think that if they have more teachers, they will gain more, what happens is they only get a watered-down path and wind up trudging through mud. The ego may get strengthened, but as far as having a teacher that comes to know you and direct you towards opening and surrendering, your toll holds that keep the ego mind entrenched. That is more than likely to remain intact, if not strengthened. 161. Up at 5 a.m., 3.5 hours of mail. Now time to get dressed. Go down the road again. Outside of Sacramento, on the way to Los Angeles, gurus have precious little free time. Obviously, that was written when I was on the road. But yes, I read every single post on the online ashram. I do not intervene in them unless I see something that needs to be directed, spoken to. Okay? But yes, I read all those. I read all the comments on the Tarot site. I read all the comments on the online sites. Okay. 164. Have you found liberation yourself yet? This should answer the question for you. Yes, you need a guide that's already traversed the way. 165. Okay, you've come to the door. Now what? Are you going to walk through? Or are you going to a different house? The choice is yours. Okay, so that's what we have in the section under gurus. You know, people have these ideas that every guru is supposed to be floating off the ground, never say a harsh word, only tell them how fabulous they are, or your poor me story, you know. And that's not going to benefit people in the end. They need to break through the drama that they hold. And if they cannot hear what you have to say, they're only willing to have pablum, then they are not ready for this type of path. So they can come, get their nose out of joint, and run away screaming how absolutely mean and hateful I am, and I have no compassion. Well, I do have compassion. That's why I spent the last 20 years, on the net, writing books, putting together an online ashram, having groups where I work with people on a daily basis, putting things out for people. Still. So don't confuse what's genuine compassion with those that are only out for name, fame, money, that are willing to sell you a bunch of drama to line their pockets. Those are not real gurus. Okay? So I'm going to leave this here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I need to get my voice back. I'm losing it. It's almost an hour of speaking, reading that. So I hope it's helped some to understand. Any coming to this path need to read Dangerous Friend. That the guru is there to break through ego. It's not there, like most paths are, to build up failing egos, flagging egos, to make you feel better about yourself in the short term. We are here to break through the illusions so that there is freedom forever. Big difference. And nothing wrong. If you can't hang with this path, if you are not ready for it, then fine, go your way. But if you are going to come here and you ask for help, and you write to me and you don't even put a greeting, not even a hello, just what are you going to do for me? You can go down the road because I don't owe you anything. Okay? Let somebody that's in a Messiah complex take that on. Okay? That's what liberated means. You're liberated from all that drama. But if you are ready to break through the conditionings, ready to confront yourself on a very deep level, your mental spins, the things that you collected, gathered, that keep you in bondage, keep you in your own self-constructed jail box of ideations, then this is a great place to be. I'm going to leave this here. Namaste. Thank you for visiting. Have a great day wherever you are on your journey.